Hey y'all, we're going to make French onion soup today. I'm cutting up my onions. I've got 1 stick of butter in there, and I've got 4 tablespoons of olive oil, and I'm sauteing onions. Right now, I've only got 1 onion in there. They're really big, but I'm cutting up the rest of them, as you can see right here. So we're making French onion soup. If you want to follow along today, that would be good. It's in your last cookbook, Live Each Little Moment, y'all. And it's on page 143 in that book. This is one of the recipes that Kate loves, and she had asked me a long time ago to please figure out how to do it, and I did. I looked up a lot of recipes, and then I just made up my own. And what I found out while I was doing that, let me get a light. I think y'all can see better now. I've used all these knives trying to cut up my onions, and this old knife of mine, this old one, is the best one because I've got it really sharp. Anyway, I'm cutting up 4 big white onions. I don't think it matters if they're yellow or white, but as I'm cutting up, you're supposed to cut them up super thin, and so that's what I'm doing, cutting up super thin. When I first made up the recipe, sometimes I don't look up a recipe, but I can tell by the recipe that it's not going to be very good. So what I did is I tried, you're supposed to put beef broth in the soup. Well, I got the cans, and I got the ones in the box. And the ones in the box are much better. And this is what I bought. I bought 3 of these, the beef broth. And I'm going to cut this in half. 1 time is all. You want it kind of long and stringy. But anyway, when I tried it I tasted the beef broth in the cans and the beef broth in the boxes. And the ones in the can were way too salty, and they just didn't taste as good. They didn't taste like the real deal. Now, if you were making some really good soup like this one, the French onion soup, what would be best is to cook your own beef broth. Boil that beef, and you would just be that'd be the very best. But I didn't have time nor the patience today to be boiling a roast. I could have, and use the meat that was in it, take it out, and do something else with that. Put barbecue sauce on it or whatever. Stir fry it with some rice. There's all kinds of things you can do with it. But I'm putting 4 big onions in. The recipe only calls for 3, but I want to make an extra big pot, so I'm going to put 4 in it. And besides, the last 2 that I did, that I've got over there too, aren't quite as big as the first 2 that I did. So anyway. Alright, so let me get these cut up and I'll show you the next step. French onion soup, and I've already bought the French bread that we're going to cut up, and I bought all the cheeses. I'll show you how to do that too. It's going to be so good, y'all are going to love it. Hey, I've got all 4 onions cut up, and here they are. And I'm just sauteing them real slowly. Look at that pile of onions. Now, y'all, it takes a lot of onions. I had 2 really giant ones and 2 that was about this large. And I've mixed butter and your olive oil in there, because if you just put all butter, it'll burn. So you don't want to do that. So anyway, we're getting going. I just minced 3 garlic cloves, since my onions are tender, and I put the garlic in there. Well, I'm not going to let that cook with like a 30 seconds in there, and then I'm going to start pouring in my broth, my beef broth. All right, now we're going to put in our beef broth since everything's kind of sauteed and ready, and we're going to put in 5 cups. I don't know how much is in this container. I bought 3 of these boxes though, just in case. All right, there's 2 cups. probably gonna have 4 cups in it. But y'all, the canned ones, they were too strong. They were just too strong. Yeah, this has got 4 cups in it. So we will need to open another container. Well, we're going to try to open another container. There we go. Had to break that little seal that's in there. All right. We're going to put in the 5th cup. And I'm going to look at it. Because I've put a lot of onions in there. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit so we're supposed to simmer it about 30 minutes. Now I'm going to put in 2 more cups because I just feel like it needs it. And I'll adjust all the seasonings to there we go. That will work good. Okay. Give that a stir. And now we're going to put in some Worcestershire salts. Not much, but some. Let's shake up your Worcestershire salts good. You're supposed to put in a teaspoon, which is not very much. A teaspoon. And that's all we're going to put in there. Now the spice that goes in it, other than that garlic that I put in, is thyme. And you want the dried thyme to go in it. And so I fixed to get my ladder and get up there and see if I can find it. I went ahead, they didn't have the little leaves, dried leaves, but they had the ground, which I didn't want to use, but I bought it anyway, just in case I don't have any. So here's what we've got in there. 3 large yellow onions or white onions, whichever one you want. I used white today. Sliced thinly. 1 stick of butter. It calls for unsalted butter, but I put in salted because I'm not going to add a lot of salt to mine. Where it says down here salt. 3 tablespoons of olive oil. 5 cups of beef broth from a carton. 3 garlic cloves. 2 teaspoons of dried thyme, which I fixed to find it. 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire salts. Pinch of salt, which I probably won't put because I put salted butter, okay? Pinch of black pepper. And then we're going to have to cut up our French bread into cubes and get out all of our different kinds of cheeses. And I'll show you what we bought for today's lunch, okay? Okay, y'all, I did find my thyme. So I didn't have to use the ground. I used the little leaves, little dried leaves of thyme. That's what I used right there. So I put 2 teaspoons of that in there, and we're going to let this simmer for 30 minutes, and then we're going to fix our soup. But I've got our cheeses out, and I want to show you kind of what we've got right here. These are the kinds that you can pick from. You can have some, all of it, or none of it. Here's smoked Gouda cheese that I've already taken the wrapper off. I just put this on so everybody will know which kind of cheese they want. This one right here is your Gruyere. I don't ever say it right, but there it is. It is really good. And I've got sliced mozzarella cheese right there. And some Parmesan cheese right here. And white cheddar right here. So what we're going to do now is take our bread. And we're going to cut it up into little crouton sizes and put it in this bowl right here. Then you can put your soup in your bowl. Put your bread in your bowl. Little croutons all in it. And then put the cheese you want on top. Then we're going to put it on broil in the oven until the cheese melts over the bread. And then it's ready to eat. So I'm fixing to cut this up. Okay, I'm just about finished. See, I've cut my bread up into these little cubes. What I did is I cut it in long skinnies like this. And then I cut it in little cubes. And we're going to put our cheese on top of our bread, just like you do at a restaurant when you buy French onion soup. I think y'all will like this, and it'll be something different. Open your recipe book and look at it, and then as you do it, taste it, okay? And see what you think, and then add or something if you want to. And you don't have to buy all these cheeses. If you already know which one is your favorite kind, then buy that. Maybe just buy 2 of them. I think I'm going to use the, I'm probably going to use the Parmesan and the Gouda. That's what I'm going to use. But that mozzarella sure is good on there, y'all. And I'm going to throw this little bitty scrappy stuff right here out at the yard for my little songbirds. They may be out there looking today for something good to eat. And they'll like that little bit right there. All right, so we're ready to build it now. Let me get my bowls out.
Y'all, we're putting our toppings on our French onion soup. Here's my bowl before I put any toppings. Merry Christmas.
Hey, y'all, there's their bowls right there. And we've already got the stuff in it. Now, show them how to do that.
Yeah, I'm moving over here.
Because we've been talking about how to fix it.
Okay, so first I got my bowl like I showed y'all. Now I'm taking the breadcrumbs and doing those on top so they'll get all the juice on them. It's a really good angle of me. My face not in it. Then you get to pick your cheese. I'm going to do a little bit of all, I think.
Okay, well, I've got you some knobs and a grater. You can do whatever you want to.
First, start with some mozzarella.
And it's light, you're saying.
Like that. Kate's grating some cheese over to the side. But basically, that's how you'll do it. And then you put it in the oven.
I know it. I'm just showing what she's putting on it. She's putting a variety of cheeses on hers. And see, when I've got the oven turned on broil, and it'll be really good. All right. Now I'm going to fix mine.
Thanks. Do you see which one's yours? Oh, I don't know.